What is happening, you wonderful people? So, the other day on the community tab, I put up a poll talking about and wanting to see if y'all would want a ranking for a certain movie franchise. And in the first 24 hours, Spider Man won. So, this is my Spider Man ranking. Very excited about this one. Spider Man has always been my favorite superhero, and I love every single Spider Man movie, but some have got to be better than the other ones, some have got to be worse than the other ones. So, let's talk about it. And I actually have all of them on DVD, Blu-ray, not Blu-ray, but DVD and 4K. I have like one on 4K or something like that. But number 10 is Spider-Man Far From Home. Like I said, I absolutely love every single Spider-Man film. I do. This one, however, is my least favorite. And when I watched it, there's some really good things about it. And there are some things that don't fully work. Like, I love Mysterio. Mysterio is one of my favorite Marvel villains. He's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. He's up there with Craven for me, with Venom, with Rhino, with uh, Chameleon. Like, I love this character. And then you add Jake Gyllenhaal into the mix. Jake Gyllenhaal's a phenomenal actor. We all know that. I know that. And I was excited for him to play Mysterio. I was. And I'm still willing to see him come back as Mysterio if there's better writing. The problem with this film is that they make, just like they've made, and I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Love that. Love his iteration of Spider-Man, what he has done and what he's going to do. The one thing I don't like with Tom Holland's Spider-Man is how they made him Iron Boy Jr. And I know it's a big qualm for a lot of people. And that's one of my qualms for this MCU Spider-Man series. And the way they made Mysterio, Quentin Beck, they made him just feel like how Spider-Man feels in this, if that makes sense. Like, he just doesn't, is not how the way I would make Mysterio. If I were making a Spider-Man movie or writing a comic, this is not the way I would make him. And he was still a good villain, but I feel like something was missing, and it just, there's a lot of other reasons, but that's like the main reason that I still love this film, but it's my least favorite. And coming in at number 9 is the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, the 2002 Willem Dafoe film, and I love this film. I grew up watching this film. It's not my favorite Raimi film, Raimi Spider-Man film, and obviously not my favorite Spider-Man film because that's why it's low. But I love this film. I love the 2000s early vibe. I love Willem Dafoe's performance. He's so amazing. James Franco's great. Tobey Maguire is great. Kirsten Dunst is great. Everyone, Rosemary Harris, everyone, J.K. Simmons, everyone in here is great. And I love the action. I love the theme song. I love everything about this film. The one thing about this film, I feel like, though, because it's so low, and I hate putting this film low, and I just really hate putting it this low because I truly love this film. I do. I do feel, however, though, that it kind of doesn't feel like it has as much, it's not as grand and bold as it is, as the other ones are, and it doesn't have as much gravitas as the other Spider-Man films. Even though I still love it, I feel like it doesn't have that much gravitas, if that makes sense, as per the other films, as much as they do. And at number 8, Spider-Man Homecoming. I love this film to death. I remember seeing it. I didn't see it opening night. I saw it some Saturday, I think. But I loved this film. And I remember the anticipation for this trailer was an all-time high. And when it released, I was like, oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I watched it, and I loved it, and I could not wait. Just the vibe of that trailer and the vibe of the movie itself. I love this movie. I love the vibe of it. I love the coming of age story in this. I love the sacrifice. I love the trying to fit in and trying to do your best at what you're capable of doing. I love that aspect in those underlying themes of the film. And the reason it's so low is because I feel like, per the Iron Boy Jr. esque of it, and like I mentioned earlier with Far From Home, and just I feel like the Iron Boy Jr. esque of it just brings it down. It really does. And I love Michael Keaton as Vulture. I love the Shocker in this. I love MJ and Ned and Aunt May and Peter himself, and Flash is funny in this, and Betty Brant's funny, and the teachers and the Hannibal Buress is the coach. Like I love the cast, the ensemble of this film, and I love the like aesthetic vibe of it, like the vibe of just this kid trying to merge his high school life with his Spider-Man life while also trying. He really likes this girl and he wants to impress Mr. Stark, and I love all that. But again, the Iron Boy Jr. part just brings it down low for me. And at number 7, this is gonna ruffle some feathers. I can already see the comments coming through. I can already see it, and I love this film to death. This is one of the best comic book movies ever made, in my opinion. Spider-Man 2. I know. Just hold off on the comments. Just hold off. Because, again, I love this film. I love the aesthetic of this film. I love Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. Dude, perfect villain casting in not just a superhero film, but not even just a Marvel film, but in general. Just perfect casting. Peak casting. Peak, man. And I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, obviously. All the cast is great in this. I love the action. I love the theme. I love the underlying themes about responsibility and sacrifice. And I love all that. But the reason it's so low on my list is because I just, you know, it's not so much that there's anything wrong with this film, because this is an almost perfect film. Almost perfect film. The other Spider Man films that I haven't talked about yet, that I'm going to talk about in a minute, I just, I love those films so much. And I just, when I thought about this, I was like, okay, what movie's better than this movie? What movie is worse than this movie? Even though they're all good, and even though I love every single Spider-Man movie that we have, it's just this should be higher on my list. It should be, but the Spider-Man films that I have not talked about yet, that I'm going to in a minute, talk about in a minute, it's just something about those films I just have a undying love for, and it was really hard to make this list, but Spider-Man 2 is an almost perfect film, is an almost perfect superhero film, and I love it. And at number 6,
You want the shots of this, man? You know how much I sacrifice?
Spider-Man 3. I absolutely love Spider-Man 3. I know a lot of people hate this film, and I know it's not it's not my favorite comic movie. Obviously, it's not my favorite Spider-Man film, but I love this film. And I think about this film as a good pave way to No Way Home. And when I think about it like that, it makes me like the film more. And that's the thing with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I find that film as a good pave way for No Way Home. And when I think about that film in that context as well, it makes me love it more. And this film is, again, about responsibility, about sacrifices, about family and friendship, and just owning up to your wrongdoings and opening up to your struggles, and I love Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman. Love that actor anyways. He's one of the best. He's one of my favorite actors. Every time he's on screen, he has a great presence and a great uh just just a great actor and a fun actor to watch, and love I love Topher Grace's Venom. I know a lot of people don't. I Not the Venom design that I would ever choose, but because I love this film so much and I have nostalgia for this film, that I love it. I do. And it's just everything about this film. I'm a straight up say it. I gave this film a 5 out of 5. I gave the first and the second one a 5 out of 5. Like, I gave both Amazing Spider-Man films a 5 out of 5. Like, I don't think y'all understand how much I love Spider-Man. Like, the love I have for this character, and yes, he's fictional. Yes, Spider-Man's not real. Would be cool, obviously. But I look up to this character. I do. And these movies are emotional have emotional beats, and the theme song is so epic, and it just gets you amped up, and it feels like you can do anything. It feels like you're breaking through walls. It makes me feel alive, and I love this film and this series so much. And at number five, The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one. I love The Amazing Spider-Man 2 more than this one, but this film, I love the thing I love about this one and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is these two films feel like a pure Spider-Man film. I love the for both films. I love the mystery aspect of his parents. I love how he goes on this journey throughout both films, trying to figure out what happened to them. And I love throughout both films the mystery esque aspect of Oscorp and why his parents left and why Oscorp has something to do with that, with Kurt Connors and with uh, Dr. Osborn. Like I love it so much, and I love the aesthetic and the vibe and the grittiness and the tone of these two films and the theme song. Like, oh, it's so emotional, and the dynamic between Emma Stone as Gwen and Andrew Garfield as Peter, and I love uh, Captain Stacy in this film. I love Uncle Ben and Aunt May. I love the scenes and the talking between Uncle Ben and Peter, and then the talking and scenes with Aunt May and Peter, and it's just so dang emotional. But you love the dynamic between these characters. You love the action. You love the nuance. You love the grittiness. You love everything about. I know I do of this film, and I know I love the second one. And man, it's good. And number four, No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. I remember when this film, so it released in December 2021. I remember for this one, back in October of 2020, so a year before it released, right? Year and 2 months. There were rumors that Toby and Andrew were going to be in the film, right? And I just kind of brushed it aside. I was like, oh, okay, cool, okay. And then later, I was like, a few months later, I was like, is this actually happening? No way. This is happening. Like, this, whoa. Like, this is, like, actually happening. And you watch the movie, and you freak out. I cried almost fully. I had tear ducts when, well, I say I had tear ducts. I had tears, like, up here when Aunt May died. I love that they brought back Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx, Alfred Molina, Thomas Hayden Church, Risa Fons, Andrew and Toby. And I love the dynamic between these three Spider-Men. This is what we've wanted, and this is what I wanted, and I loved it. And like when Andrew's like, I love you guys. And he's like, I've always wanted brothers. Oh, man, it hits, man. And you hear the little theme songs from the Amazing Spider-Man duology and Raimi's trilogy, and you blend that with the MCU, and you have the nuance in this film, and you have the grittiness, and you have the humor, and you have the dynamic bond between these three, and you have the love between MJ and Peter, and then the love between him, Ned, and MJ. This friendship triangle that works, and this Aunt May as a mother figure and Happy as a father figure, and it's about loss, it's about acceptance, it's about struggle, it's about loss. It is, and it's truly a just cacophony of just sadness, funny moments, action packed, and the action is brutal. The brutality of it is phenomenal and just so groundbreaking. And it's one of the best comic movies ever made. It's one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made. And number three is Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I love this film. When the first trailer released for this movie years ago, I was like, I'm not going to go watch that. I'm not going to go watch it. Why? There's no point. But I'm glad I did. Because A, I loved it. It's my second favorite movie of all time. B, it now connects to MCU and other things in the multiverse saga, So I loved it and it connects. And This movie is a groundbreaking achievement for film. This movie is a groundbreaking achievement for animation. It's a groundbreaking achievement for superhero films, and it's a groundbreaking achievement for Spider-Man films. This is a story about fitting in. It's a story about taking that leap of faith even when you think it's not your time, and taking that leap of faith even when you think you're not ready. And it's about anyone can wear the Spider-Man mask. Anyone can wear it. Like anyone can wear it, man. Like it's a beautiful, raw, emotional, intensely gripping film that is beautiful from start to finish, and it puts you in this world that has great world building, has great characters, has great writing, has great visual, aesthetically beautiful animation. And it's just, again, you can wear the mask, man. Like, it is so beautiful. And number two, this might ruffle some feathers, and I know I can already see the comments. I can already see them. But this is my opinion. And this film is subjective. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I grew up watching this film, and I love this film. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. This film, with the mystery aspect of his parents, the grittiness, the rawness of it, the aesthetic, the action, the villains. I love Jamie Foxx's Electro. I love Dane DeHaan as Green Goblin. For what we got, I love Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. I do Emma Stone. And it's so beautiful, but in a very dark, emotional way. And it breathes well, and it takes its time, and you have fun with it. It's a fun film, and it's just a good pave way to No Way Home, I think. And I just remember seeing this movie for the first time in theaters years ago. And when Gwen died, that stuck with me for a while. It did. And I find myself rewatching this over and over again. And I love that it's a story about you have to let go. You have to let go, and you have to be greater than what you suffer, as Gwen said in the movie. And I just love the trauma in the film. I love everything about the nuance of this film, and again, the grittiness and the rawness of it, and it's just what I've always wanted Spider-Man to be, and it's what Spider-Man should be on this type of level for what this film was doing and for what it accomplished. And it's a beautiful film. It is, in my opinion. And at number one, Across the Spider-Verse, man. I have my poster right there. I'm just looking at how beautiful it is. This is a beautiful film. It's a film about sacrifice, and it's a film about it's a film about fitting in, and it's a heartbreaking story for each character. It's like in the film, it's a full, complete story, but as a part one, because Beyond Spider-Verse is the same movie in a way. It's like part two. So it is a full, complete movie, but at the same time, it's not. And it's just, I love the dynamic between Miles and Gwen. I love the dynamic between Miles and Peter and Gwen. And I love Miguel in this film, and I cannot wait for the next one. And the animation is, they up the ante with the animation in this film, and it's so beautiful and groundbreaking. It's so fun and so fresh and new, and you get a few cameos in there, man, and you just get so much. It's so fun, and it's so emotional, and it's so heartbreaking, as I said earlier, and it's so action packed, and it's so fun. And I love this film, and I cannot wait for Beyond Spider-Verse. And I wish I would have seen this movie more in theaters. I only saw it once, but I've seen this movie at home like 10 million times. So yeah, it's a beautiful film, and it's a beautiful Spider-Man film that it does what a Spider-Man film should do. And it's my favorite comic movie of all time. It's my favorite Spider-Man film of all time. It's my favorite Marvel film. It's my favorite movie of all time. It is, and I'm not afraid to say that, because that's the truth, and I love that film, and I will always love this film with all my heart and soul. So that'll wrap up this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share on this video. We are at 680 subs. Next big milestone is 700. We're reaching that quickly. Then 8, 9, the big one is 1K, and beyond that as well. And if you're new as well, I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, movie news, movie live streams, all that wonderful movie stuff under the movie umbrella. And let's talk about it down below in the comment section. I want to hear what y'all thought. What is y'all's favorite Spider-Man film? Do y'all like Into the Spider-Verse the best, Across the Spider-Verse best, No Way Home the best, or Spider-Man 2 the best? Let's talk about it down below. Keep talking movies, my wonderful people. Cheers.